So if you wanted to start off, could you introduce yourself and your position within this organization?
Yeah, so my name is Chima Ikante. I am a recent graduate from UCLA. I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Human Biology and Society. I am a co-founder of Melanin Medicine, as well as the past chair of cardiology.
Exciting. So could you tell me a little bit more about what your organization does?
Yeah, so essentially we being myself and three other co-founders, Amaya Taylor, Brooke Fields, and Taylani Jackson, we noted the lack of an organization at UCLA that really catered to Black pre-meds, but more than just providing mentorship and community, which we do consider to be our pillars for the organization. But we really wanted to go in and provide like the tangible things needed to be successful and matriculate into medical school. So like research, shadowing, volunteer work. We wanted to help people with like studying and whatnot. Just really like giving them the tools and equipping them to be as successful as possible in the future.
That sounds great. So what does being a member typically look like?
Right. So as a member, you are separated into one of four pathways: cardiology, neurology, infectious diseases, or women and community health. You get to choose which pathway that you're interested in being a part of. If you are interested in more than one pathway, you're also open to participate in activities in that are included in each pathway. It just like will be a bit more of a commitment given that like each pathway is pretty separate. But at the same time, we do come together and do activities together, such as the white coat ceremony, as well as research symposium that takes place in the winter quarter. But yeah, it's kind of what it looks like being a member. You do a little bit of everything.
Exciting. So what makes your organization different from the other pre-health organizations on campus?
Yeah, definitely. To answer this one, I really would want to focus more on like other Black pre-health organizations at UCLA, kind of like what I talked about during my introduction. We really had a focus on giving people the tangible tools giving honestly Black pre-meds, but like we do to cater to all people of color that are pre-med, but giving these pre-meds the tangible tools and equipping them to be able to matriculate successfully into medical school. And so, like I said before, we teach people how to conduct research, how to like present research, as well as getting to get like clinical shadowing and whatnot in like what's the word, real world environments, I guess. Like I don't know how to describe that, but like yeah, through like our partnership with Trap Medicine, like that's kind of like how we get that like shadowing aspect. But yeah.
Amazing. So if someone wanted to get involved, so is there an application process for your organization? What does it generally look like?
Definitely. So we don't have an application. If you're interested in melanin medicine, we want you to like come join. Like we didn't want there to be any barriers. Now for things like the research symposium and the partnership with Trap Medicine, those are a bit it's a bit more difficult to have like a large amount of people or a large number of people that are part of it. So there is a point system that we go by, as well as kind of like a little bit of a first come, first serve system that we abide by. Um, but yeah, so no general application, but for some opportunities, it's a bit trickier.
Sounds great. And so what is, I guess, like the typical member look like in your organization?
So yeah, so I would say like a quarter in the life of a member. Fall quarter is really just dedicated to getting you equipped or getting you familiar with Melanin Medicine, who we are, what we do, introducing you to the other members of Melanin Medicine, as well as like getting a baseline understanding of what each pathway is, so like a baseline knowledge of like cardiology, the cardiovascular system. Same goes with neurology, infectious diseases, and women and community health. As we transition into winter quarter, that's when we introduce our research symposium. So that quarter looks a little bit more, it's a bit more academic focused. We still do a few like general body meetings where like everyone meets. We might bring in a speaker, we might bring in physicians, medical students, do like a panel like that. But the focus is really like find a topic that you're interested in and then work with your pathway leader to um, develop a research question, develop like your actual research, and then prepare to like present it to your cohort as well as any other family and friends that come to watch. And the spring quarter is like a fun quarter, to be honest. It's just a lot of good vibes and whatnot.
Sounds good. And so, what's like one impactful personal experience that you had while you were a part of this organization?
Yeah. Oh, one. I would say, dang, it's hard to,
It's a hard question.
yeah, because there are like two key ones that are really sticking out.
You can say both.
Okay, bet. I would say our first white coat ceremony, that was in winter 2021. So that was like the full COVID year. And watching that like materialize and like actually come to fruition, like this was an idea that like I had pitched it to my other co's, they were down, and then watching people actually get like SRP credit for it and then present like their various projects. Like we had people presenting on like stem cell research and like using, I can't even remember, but just like a lot of really cool stuff. Like it was just like, wow, like oh, we had this idea. It could have gone great, it could have not. And then to see everyone be so like full force, like so excited to like really give their all to this idea or to this like project was like really cool. As well as, and then the second kind of experience for me that sticks out was the white coat ceremony. This was our first ever white coat ceremony. And for one of my other orgs, I got a white coat when I first joined, and it had like my little name and it said like Cedar Sinai, stuff like that. And it's something that I still look at like now. Like it means so much to me, especially now that like I'm in the middle of the medical school process. And I knew that I wanted to like have that for our members. Like I knew how impactful that was. So to be able to get that for them, like obviously we took care of the cost and made it like a whole moment. Like we catered food, everything. We said their name, they put it on. Like watching that was like, wow, like look at all these like future Black doctors. Like look at all the difference and change we're going to be able to make simply because we're Black and physicians. So I would say those are definitely the two most impactful moments slash experiences.
That's so amazing. And kind of like on that note, how, so you talked a lot about just like bringing up like, or really empowering the next generation of like Black leaders in medicine. So like how else would you think that your organization promotes awareness and appreciation for your community outside of just like already uplifting these like this future generation?
Yeah. I would say like I think we really outside of just like the medicine part, like we're just Black individuals at UCLA, and that's an experience in itself. And so I would say really just like forming a community in a sense, like you come to as long as you've been to one Melanin Medicine meeting, like we consider you family, we consider you a part of us. And so like seeing each other around campus, like we're gonna say, hey, what's up? How's it going? You know, is there any way I can help you? Any way that I can support you this week? Um, so I would say that, and then as well as just like being really plugged into like ASU and other like Black organizations, like being part of the Harambe Council has been really key in like being a part of like the Black community as a conglomerate at UCLA.
Great. So was there anything else you wanted to share that you haven't had the chance to?
Um, Melanin medicine, like honestly, we're able to accomplish so much more than I thought we ever could in the last 3 years, two of them being like kind of COVID filled. And to know that the next, like the board coming up after me, I personally have worked with each of them and I know that they're going to take it even further. So I would encourage you, like, join us. Like, we are more than happy to have you. And yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Melanin Medicine and Chidima. Thank you.